The Wisconsin legislature making headlines yesterday, both the Senate and Assembly passing that Brewers Stadium funding bill. It now awaits the governor's signature, but the Senate also passing a new bill addressing alcohol laws in the state, one that opponents say will hurt those who operate these wedding barns that have become very popular. The new bill, which included an amendment with more than 150 pages, will require wedding barn operators to obtain a liquor license similar to what taverns need, or they will only be able to hold a very limited number of events each year. Jason Zimmerman joins us now from our Valley newsroom looking into this today. Now, Jason, I know you did a story on this in the summer when this was proposed. Well, now that it's closer to reality, how are some of these operators reacting to this news out of Madison yesterday?
Well, Chris, I spoke to the owner today of Homestead Meadows Farm out of Greenville. He's very concerned about the potential outcome of this, especially because if you do not go forward and get a Class B liquor license, these venues are limited to holding just 6 events per year and no more than 1 event per month. To give you an idea how many events that this particular place holds, I'm told it's well over 50 events a year. So this is going to be highly problematic, not just for them, but for a lot of these venues. And right now, the focus is on the governor here, and they're holding out hope that the governor will actually veto this legislation. That was basically the gist of them talking to me today. And they're also upset that the passage of this in the Senate, at least, did not include any public testimony. That was not done. And even in the passing of this, many of the senators who voted against it were across party lines. There was, mostly Democrats, but a few Republicans sided with the owners of wedding barns as well, saying that this is not something that feel is appropriate for the state to interfere in the business of many of these being small business owners themselves.
Jason, we've all been to probably a wedding at one of these, and there has been alcohol options. So currently, right now, how do they handle that?
Right now, wedding barns do not serve alcohol. If you're a client of theirs and you want to have a wedding there, you have to go off a list of approved vendors who do have the proper licensing to serve alcohol at these venues. And that's how it's conducted right now. This would be a complete shift. Now the wedding barns owners would have to establish a bar to run, for all these events, hire staff, make sure they're trained properly, instead of relying on these outside vendors.
All right, you mentioned Governor Evers earlier that they hope he's veto. Is there been any indication yet on how the governor leans on this issue? It seems to me been kind of quiet.
He's been really quiet on this. He hasn't said one way or the other where he plans to go with this issue or given a time frame for when he will either sign off on this bill or to veto it. If he listens to a lot of the Democrats right now that were speaking about the Assembly and the Senate, they're urging him to obviously veto this legislation, but it's hard to say what he's actually going to do. I know a lot of these wedding barn owners right now are hoping that the governor does indeed veto this and allow them to continue this business model as they've been doing for many, many years now.
All right, Jason, thanks so much. More on this on your story coming up tonight on Action 2 News at 5.